Welcome to the Movies to Watch Before You Die podcast. I'm your host, Dylan, along with my cousin and co-host,
Gab.
And my not cousin and semi-frequent co-host,
sweating and slowly dying. My name is Kyle Naranya.
Yes, that's you from the Film Reelists podcast.
That's me.
Listen, Kyle had to turn off his air conditioner because the sound in the background was vile. So he wants to make it sound like he's sweating and dying for Dylan and I, but really, listener, he's doing it for you.
It's true. It's very, very true.
Show him your gratitude. So let's talk about Shrek, baby. Let's talk about you and me. We've got to be talking about Shrek 2 from, Gab, what year?
Oh, God. 2006?
Kyle, what year?
I know what it is. It's 2004.
That's correct, Kyle.
Damn.
Kyle's the star pupil of this podcast now, Gab. Keep up.
I don't want to be the star pupil because then you're going to make me do more than just show up and chat.
You're my star jackass. All right. Kyle, let's cut right to the chase here. Let's get into it. Can you tell me what Shrek 2 is about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
Explain!
As you would a child.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
Shrek 2 is about Shrek and Fiona, specifically Shrek meeting his in-laws and going to far, far away.
Okay. Keeps
Concise.
it very simple.
Yeah.
I respect it. The IMDb plot summary was a little wordier. Shrek and Fiona travel to the kingdom of Far, Far Away, where Fiona's parents are king and queen, to celebrate their marriage. When they arrive, they find they are not as welcome as they thought they would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, we got a new thing we're going to do here. Kyle, you'll get to be one of my dummies for the first time, one of my guinea pigs. Gab, I have 3 taglines for you. 2 of them are real.
Oh, I love this.
You will tell me which is the fake.
Okay.
Once upon another time, not so far, far away. So this is happily ever after.
Oh,
okay.
Some of those actually sound familiar.
Those are really good. I was expecting the third one to be like, what if Shrek wasn't ugly anymore?
So I was supposed to make it that one of these was terrible. That's what you want.
What if Shrek was not unk or chopped?
Oh boy. Okay, so I feel like not so far, far away is the fake one because they make a very strong argument in the movie that it is very far away because they're in the car or the horse and carriage for a really long time and Donkey is being annoying. So I feel like that is the fake one.
Okay.
What was the third one, Dylan?
I will read all 3 again.
So this is happily ever after.
Not so far, far away. And so this is happily ever after.
That one I know is real.
Okay.
I know that one is real. And what's the first? Say the first one more time.
Once upon another time.
I agree with Gab. I think it's number 2 is fake.
Okay. Locking it in. That's what you both have said.
Yes, Regis.
You are both incorrect.
Oh, is it the first one?
It is. So this is happily ever after I made up 3 minutes ago.
Oh.
Wow, Kyle.
Is that
you
not
were certain?
I was.
That was the only one that Kyle was like, I know that's the real one. I'm like, yeah.
No, there's so many Shreks. So what are let's see. Oh, you know what it was? Okay, so I looked this up. Shrek 3 for your happily never after is Shrek 3.
I'm sorry. It's Shrek the Third. Put some respect on it.
No. Shrek's okay. We're gonna get into opinions, but Shrek stopped being great after 2.
I think that's not even an opinion. That's a fact. But
I never saw the third.
You don't need to.
It's so bad.
I'm so proud of myself, quite frankly, that's how this worked out for the first time, though. That you
That
both
was
were
great.
stumped. Thank you.
I really enjoyed that. We got to keep that in.
I could
Now,
be
when
a little...
Dylan says he made it up, did he go into Gemini or ChatGPT and go, make a fake Shrek 2 tagline?
Now,
No way.
I'm pretty anti-AI, so no, I did not. And I'm sure I'll get a comment on this that our little Grim Reaper dude was originally made with AI. But that's the one thing I ever used it for. I'm sorry, I'm not artistic. I'm closer to autistic. Leave me alone.
Well, and that's why you were so good at making up taglines.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, now we can get to our opinions.
In this critic's opinion,
That's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
I'd like to begin. Kyle, without taking 30 minutes, why did you pick this movie? Like,
All right.
what made you pick this?
What gives you the right?
What gives you the right to pick Shrek 2?
Who do you think you are?
Where did you get the gumption?
Who do you think you are? I am. No. That's a bowling clip. If you want to look that up, it's a very... Have you seen this, Dylan, that highlight?
Yes, I have.
Yes. It's the... I love it.
It's featured in the documentary Born to Bowl on HBO Max, which is fucking awesome. I know it sounds dumb, but it's really cool.
All right. I have to... One second. Because I have an answer for you, Gab.
I don't feel confident that Kyle has to look up why he picked this movie.
No. What I meant to do, it's not coming up that quickly. One of the two reasons was I wanted a movie that I thought stood a chance because I've been consistently inconsistent with my suggestions. Sometimes I even think for the two of you, and I found it incredibly fascinating that, Gab, you suggested Crazy Stupid Love and then went, just kidding, I don't think it should make the list, which I think the fact that happened just shows what a great opportunity anything that being brought into the podcast could make it or not make it, like Rocky and Raiders of the Lost Ark, but that's neither here nor there. So because of those significant blemishes on the lack of them being on the list, I completely, honestly, Gab, I went for a gimme. I needed not Juan Soto or Bo Bichette to go to the plate. I needed somebody else. So I decided to pick Shrek 2. Which
was that a shot at the Mets?
Absolutely.
Just our team is horrible. You chose like two people that are actually kind of okay.
Well, it's a shot at the whole team.
I say Bo Bichette specifically because, he played up here for like 10 years first.
I know.
So
I know.
No,
took you guys to the World Series.
He didn't play for 90% of that playoff run. He showed up in the World Series and was useless. So I would have preferred he didn't play, if I'm being totally honest.
He swings at everything.
Yes, he does. And that's what Vladdy's doing right now. But no, honestly, I do believe that Shrek 2 is something that should be discussed on the podcast, given the variety is so interesting. I know run times are a hurdle sometimes for you, Miss Gab. So we will get into
Dylan?
it. Yeah, because this is 90 minutes, right?
No, I'm just saying he also we agree that a 90-minute film is ideal.
I think you're more against a longer movie than I am inherently, but yes, I do agree with her on that actually.
There's going to be 3-hour movies this year that are all probably going to make over $1 billion. Dylan, can you name them all?
I'm guessing you're talking about The Odyssey.
Yep.
Dune Part 3.
Yep.
Avengers Doomsday?
Yeah, it's got to be 3 hours, right?
Hey, look at Vigo. Yeah, I mean, I don't think all three of those will make $1 billion, but all three will certainly come close.
Really interesting.
Yeah. So let's get into Shrek stuff because that's what's important right now. First question I have to ask, and I'm gonna do some comparing of these two.
Okay.
Who is the better villain, the fairy godmother or Lord Farquaad?
Oh my God, Corey said the same thing this morning at breakfast.
I think it's important.
Yeah, he was like, we got to figure this out. I'm going to tell you, without doubt or question, the better villain is Lord Farquaad.
Nope.
Without doubt or question? That seems
without
like a bold statement.
Fucking doubt. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Does the fairy godmother have
the
better...
Muffin Man?
That's Lord Farquaad, baby.
The Muffin Man!
Who lives on
Does
Drury Lane?
the fairy godmother have better songs?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. Does she have a better two numbers, in fact, that are the best part of the movie? 100%. Is she John Lithgow as a short lord who fucking, no, she's not. She's not anywhere near it. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Lord Farquaad is better. That isn't me saying that I think Shrek 1 is better. That is me saying that I think Lord Farquaad is a more memorable villain than the fairy godmother.
I think they're neck and neck, and I think one of the biggest mistakes this franchise made, which Kyle, I feel like I'm going to let you answer on the fairy godmother side in a second. One of the biggest mistakes I think this franchise made is killing off fairy godmother with no opportunity to return, because I think the franchise got weaker for lack of such a good, clear villain. Kyle, your stance on the fairy godmother.
What separates a good villain is agency and having a clear understanding of their goals Like, not everyone can be the Joker, like just a dog chasing a car and not knowing what's going to happen. Lord Farquaad is a dunce. Like, that guy's lucky things work out for him. Like, debating John Lithgow versus Jennifer Saunders, that's apples and oranges. They're doing entirely different things. What I love from a villain is when they're deliciously evil and they're actually affecting what's going on. The only time that Lord Farquaad does that is near the end of the movie. And he's not sinister. You're not scared of him. He gets eaten by the dragon. And
am I supposed to be scared of him? Like, it's a children's movie.
I don't think either one is particularly scary, but I get what you're saying, Kyle, that the fairy godmother is more malicious, whereas Lord Farquaad is more, I want what I want and things go right for me because I'm the king and I've been born into this monarchy.
Yes, he's a spoiled rich child.
Yes.
He's not intimidating. Like, again, what makes I almost said the stepmother, but that's a whole different thing. But the fairy godmother, what I love about Jennifer Saunders does with her, and this is why, like, iconic villains throughout cinema, like, they have moments. And, like, yes, the gumdrop button thing, like, not the gumdrop button. That's because of Gingy that scene is iconic. It's not because of Lord Farquaad. He's just there.
I'm sorry. One line that lives rent-free in my head from now until the day I die is, some of you may die, but that is a price I'm willing to pay.
Which,
okay, he's got...
it's impressive to pull lines from a movie we did not watch in preparation for this, so I'll give her credit for that.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Number 3. That's also not him, though.
Line. Exactly.
I think... Okay, and then I'm sorry, and I'm not going to sing it on the podcast, but the theme song to His Kingdom.
Wipe your face.
But
yep.
that's not a Farquaad. That's the point. Okay, our generation knows holding out for a hero because of Shrek 2. Not that it was written for Footloose. Like, I'm sorry, Farquaad could not eat the fairy godmother's lunch.
All I'm saying is...
I was like, whoa, where are we going here?
When I see a 21-year-old girl on the streets of New York City dressed up as the fairy godmother for Halloween, it goes right over my head. When I see a 21-year-old girl rocking a Lord Farquaad costume, I'm like, that's a girl I want to hang out with.
To be fair, in New York, could you not find anything?
I've seen
Lord
the dragon,
Farquaad
man.
is such a funny costume.
Have you seen the dude
only
who
funny
pretends
because
to be Lord
he's
Farquaad
small
online?
though?
No.
Like,
there's a
he's
dude
a
who...
comical villain. Like, there's a difference.
Yeah, but you can't have this debate and be saying things like, the fairy godmother. Like, do you hear yourself? It's a fucking children's movie about a fairy godmother who cast a spell on people. Like, enough already.
Neither one is Darth Vader.
No,
Yes.
neither is Darth Vader, but respectfully, Gab, I love you. I am exhausted with the caveat of it being a children's film, because the bar should not be lower when you are showing impressionable children media aimed at them. Because what makes Shrek 2, as well as the fairy godmother, more interesting is there's actually complexity to the role she plays in it. Farquaad is a
100%.
Farquaad is a spoiled little boy and has no real effect on the plot. He doesn't take Fiona from Shrek. Shrek goes, here, I've done that thing because they have a falling out. This is the Raiders of the Lost Ark argument, where Farquaad is irrelevant to the story outside of giving Shrek the job. Where Fairy Godmother actually actively affects what happens.
You just said Farquaad is irrelevant to the story besides being the impetus for the entire story.
Okay, but everything that happens afterwards is irrelevant. Because, they're getting married, but Shrek could get Fiona from anywhere in the kingdom. It's because he loves her that he goes to get her. Shrek 1 is a great movie, and we're spending a lot of time talking about Shrek 1. But I think what makes Shrek 2 incredibly special, and one of the sequels that is dramatically better than the original, is that added layer of complexity. And children's films are lacking that more and more and more.
My response about it being a children's film had nothing to do with the complexity of the story and everything to do with the fact that nothing was going to be all that scary. Like,
I think that's debatable. There's plenty of children's films that are still scary.
This is a film that is a comedy that takes the grim brothers' fairy tales and makes them more palatable because as we know, they were very scary and
Sure.
very frightening. And so there is not going to be a added layer of like, and you could get eaten by the wolf. Like that's been removed inherently throughout the entirety of this franchise. That's the point of the franchise.
I do feel bad. I feel like I set up a debate between you two that there is no end to this debate where we're going to be like, and Kyle takes the debate. Like, no, let's clear it. They're both great. I just wanted to pose the question. And I have another question to pose. Do we think, and apparently I thought this to myself, and once I looked it up, I was like, oh, I guess I'm not the first person to have thought this. Is it that the fairy godmother cursed Fiona to transform because she was setting it up the whole time for Prince Charming to be able to go and become the king by the end of all this? Because
I don't think
it's never
so.
technically stated how Fiona was cursed, but considering that the fairy godmother helped Harold, which spoiler for this 22-year-old movie, Harold was once a frog, which apparently they lay on thick when you realize that. Like, it's a cool thing when you're rewatching, but Harold was once a frog, and Harold and Lillian, the king and queen of Far, Far Away, went to the fairy godmother who transformed him into a man. In exchange for that, do you think that she put the curse on their child so that she could eventually have Prince Charming marry Fiona to become eventual king?
I don't think so, just on the fact that, yes, she might have made him human in form, but maybe his swimmers are green. Like, it's not
Shrek isn't
actually a
part
joke.
frog.
No, but we don't know the genetic
Are you saying
makeup.
frog
Okay.
plus woman equals ogre?
Well, frog man plus woman might equal ogre. This could be the same thing as how they had, like, frog DNA in the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Like, it's a fairy tale world. No, I don't think so. I think the complexity or in terms of that relationship is outlined by Fairy Godmother, right? Because she doesn't say she has to, like, I don't think they layer in the thing that why would she curse her? Like, it feels like a hat on a hat. It feels like she is an opportunist where, like, I did this thing for you, and then when you had a kid, she was going to marry, because now she has to do something extra. Like, I'm going to curse her just to make sure it happens, but I don't think so.
I think Fairy Godmother does things for... She's the mob of this world. She's the mob of, Fairy Creature Land. And the mob will always do you a favor and then need you to do something later down the line for them. And I think what this was it sets it up so that's why the movie opens with Prince Charming going to rescue Fiona, because why did he know to do that? Because she knew that's what was going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's nothing that proves it. Otherwise, it's just that there's an unnamed witch who at some point cursed Fiona, which maybe that's possible. They never get into that.
To me, I just feel like if it were that simple, then wouldn't the fairy godmother, when she was a child, have just removed the curse?
No, because the whole point is that you can eventually have Prince Charming be her true love, cures her, she stops turning into an ogre and just stays human, and then he will become king. And here's what I'll say also, since I brought up the mafia. How much... Because we see Shrek shirtless in this movie, he does look just like James Gandolfini. That's so much that I was like, did they model him after Tony Soprano?
Yeah, he does. I thought that too.
Like, his body is just green Tony Soprano.
Oh, Shrek.
Yes, okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not good.
Our opinions just seem to be circling over. Dylan, do you have more questions? Is that how this episode's working?
I don't think... Okay, wait. Third question, because things are better in threes. Is there anyone besides Antonio Banderas who could have played Puss in Boots?
No. I will give you a possibility, but it would have been worse. Cary Elwes.
See, that's funny, because I'm guessing I went the exact same route that you did. I thought of Princess Bride too, and I thought Mandy Patinkin, who was Inigo Montoya.
Ooh,
oh, yeah.
Worked. But
that's the only other person I could think of.
There's something to be said, though, for it literally being Zorro.
Yeah, like, and they haven't carved the P. Yeah.
Oh, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure did.
Did that almost sound just as bad as when you were talking about Farquaad can't eat the Godmother? And I'm like, whoa, was he gonna? We're off the
Okay,
fucking-
I don't even think, like, obviously we're having I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation about the two different villains, but I'm like, I don't think either of you really have shared, like, what do you think of this movie?
I think I Need a Hero might be one of the best needle drops of all time in this movie. And I've seen this movie, it's got to be at least 20 times, probably way more than that. And if I was maybe getting a little bit bored by how much I knew this movie already, by the time once that happens, you are like fully bought back in. And when you combine I Need a Hero with Mongo, my favorite new character in this whole goddamn series of movies, I don't know. That's movie magic to me. That's cinema to me. And I love that giant gingerbread man so goddamn much.
He was so young. Oh.
Wait, what is it that he says to him at the end? He goes,
Be good.
and wait, and that Gingy goes, he needs me. Let me go. Like Gingy was like, I'll fucking die for him right now.
Oh, and I mean, I did mean it when I love Shrek 1. I do. Like, thinking about what that did in 2001 for animated films, like being way more adult than people were used to, right? We've talked about a couple. I mean, I haven't been on for them, but I know you guys have talked about a couple in the Renaissance period and beforehand, like when we talked about Great Mouse Detective. But what that first one did, and why Shrek 2 really I wanted to be a part of this conversation, is sequels more often than not are so bad. Right? Like the general feeling is, well, we have to make it bigger and better. And how this expands on stuff. And none of it feels like, oh, they thought of this in a stupid order. It's like, okay, well, Princess Fiona is a princess, so she comes from royalty. And the way that they layer in all of the different lore from the other fantasies, right? As Gab said, like all the different Grimm things and all the different princesses that are there for a second, I thought was really funny. But getting all of like when all the characters reunite for that Mission Impossible sequence, which felt old even then, and then they're like, I'm wearing ladies' underpants. It's like, are you? It's
I will
a
say
thong!
that hit so hard in like, what were we in, like 5th grade when this came out? We're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
Yeah. Gab, do you like Shrek 2?
I mean, aren't we here to find out? Like, I don't. Is this the verdicts? Like,
Let's get to the
I'm
verdict.
not-
Opinions!
Yeah.
Are
Well,
we not
listen,
giving
I have
opinions?
opinions. One of the things that really struck me, because I have seen this movie a bunch, but I hadn't watched it in a very long time, was when they get to Far, Far Away, and it's obviously like meant to look like Beverly Hills, but the names of the stores are so funny and so clever, and sometimes they're
bunch of them
fully
written
out
out
of
for you.
focus, and you have to like really squint and look. But I thought that was great. Go ahead, Dylan, read them off.
Oh, you want me to do that now? Okay.
Yeah.
While Funky Town is playing for the records. Like the soundtrack for this is so good.
The
It's
soundtrack
so
for the
good.
first and second movie are both incredible. And I think the first
Is
movie
this
was
one
literally
better?
partially built around that. I don't know, but they're both equally great. This has Counting Crows, Accidentally in Love was written for this. And every time I hear Counting Crows now, I do think of That Thing You Do, because it's the lead singer of them that did the music for that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, as much as that movie not surviving to make it to the list, that song has stayed with me.
It's a great song.
I mean,
Oh.
and isn't Livin' La Vida Loca as an end cap better than I'm a Believer?
I'm a
Yeah.
believer, but you've also got somebody to start the first one. So
I think that they knew that the soundtrack was a really big selling point in the first one,
Yes.
and so they went bigger for the second one.
yes. And you got Hallelujah in the first one also, but
Oh.
they knew that both, like, I think by this time it was more, we've got them locked in already, but the soundtrack will still help. And they clearly must have put a lot of money towards it in both movies. Also,
I own this CD.
makes sense. And the animation, you did say it really quickly. I'm just also going to say it. The movie's 22 years old. It still looks phenomenal. Like the fur on Puss in Boots looks incredible. You know what I mean? But Gab was asking me to read off the spoof signs, so let me do that. Some of the spoofs of famous signs and stores in the background of Far, Far Away: Burger Prince, spoofing Burger King; Old Navy, Old Navy; Far, Far Away sign is the Hollywood sign; Saxon Fifth Avenue is the Saks Fifth Avenue; Romeo Drive, Rodeo Drive; Versace, Gap Queen, Gap Kids; Farbucks Coffee, Starbucks, which you get when Mongo's coming, them running from Farbucks on one corner into the Farbucks on another corner; Friar's Fat Boy, which is Bob's Big Boy. Tower of London Records, Tower Records. Baskin Robin Hood for Baskin Robbins. FFPS, which is USPS. Barney's Old York for Barney's New York. Abercrombie and Witch for Abercrombie and Fitch. FFAPD for the Far Far Away Police Department, LAPD, NYPD, etc.
I have said to Corey so many times that I'm like, Sally looks so much like Puss in Boots. Like, she looks like Puss in Boots, this cartoon cat. And then when we watched it back, I realized that it's because when her pupils get really big and she's like, it's just, that's what cats look like when they do that, which is so funny.
Cat ownership is really a mix of two things. That and the initial scene where Puss in Boots is attacking Shrek. That's cat ownership.
Yes. Yes. I also think that some of the casting in this movie is so good. And we talked about a lot of the obvious ones, but like, who could be the queen besides Julie Andrews?
She's a goddamn icon.
I mean, the sound of her voice is so soothing to me. Like, there's just
Angela
nobody else.
Lansbury.
No, she could be
Helen Mirren.
No.
It's too early. Not maybe now.
Julie Andrews for life. I think the voice of Prince Charming, I don't really even know what I know him from, but he's incredible.
He is perfect for the role.
Yes. Also, doesn't he look like Jamie Lannister?
He looks just like Nikolai Coster-Waldau, I think is the actor's name.
Yes.
Dead ringer.
Gesundheit. Yeah.
Like,
actually, what's the timeline on that?
Game of Thrones wasn't until 2010.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is much later.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, he's got that like end of 90s, early 2000s, like the Jonathan Taylor Thomas haircut, like the perfect part down the middle, and it. Sean Hunter would have had it too in Boy Meets World.
Yep. Yeah.
It is just though spot on for. You would think they had modeled him after him.
Yeah, it's crazy. Really
maybe
appreciate
they modeled
him.
Nikolai after him.
Yes, maybe he was crafted in the lab after Prince Charming.
Yeah. Obviously, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, all wonderful. I'm trying to think. Obviously, I mean, Jennifer Saunders is she steals the show. Yeah, it's all just really, really well done. I think the casting is beautiful. I like that the characters remain, but there's not a ton of callbacks. So in other words, like, it's a standalone. You don't have to see the first one. You don't have to be reminded of what happened. Like, they catch you up very quickly. It checks a lot of boxes.
I really like how long they keep the other fairy tale characters out for. Like, you get the wolf joke at the very beginning, which I think the fairy godmother refers to her as a gender confused wolf, which I'm like, they probably don't go with that now, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not one of those ones where you're like, oh God.
Yeah, there's no hate. It's not like on our Big Fat Liar episode when we were talking about the stuff Marty Wolf says. But I love that they kept those characters out. And they do bring them in towards the very end, the third act. But this movie, it's so important. The characters that we do have, I'd say it's like 6 or 7, Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, Puss in Boots. Yes, 6, 7, my bad. Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, Puss in Boots, the Queen, the King, which even the Queen is almost like a less important character. And then you've got Charming
about
and
Puss in Boots? Like, it's very rare. I can only think of a handful of franchises that actually expand the main cast. And you're like, thank God. Because Shrek and Donkey and Fiona in the first one, like, they're a 3-pack, right? You're like, okay, great. There's the back and forth and whatever. But a character like Puss in Boots in a not well-made film could be so annoying. And they do the best thing ever, which is pairing him off with Donkey. Like, the role of annoying talking animal has already been filled. Like, they perfectly go with each other.
I'm trying to think of, like, other major sequels that have added a character that really
What's Toy Story
power. I thought of
it's
Toy
Jessie.
Story and Jessie. That's really definitely the first one that comes to my mind. I feel like it's hard to say. It's not something that's done that successfully that often. But
they'll try. Like, they'll give you a character. Like, now the thing is, you get a Grogu equivalent. They're like, we need a baby. And so they'll have something in there that's like, the newest Jurassic World had a baby Triceratops.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're like, we need a baby thing.
Yeah. I'm sick of these babies. They're making me pro-choice.
Like Minions just adds more minions.
I really enjoy the furniture bit. I just want to toss that
I
in
did
there.
write that down. I went, does the furniture remain sentient like forever?
It was so good.
This was 2004, and of course, in her first musical number, she does say "sexy man boy Kyle." So I'm surprised it took this long to get to that line.
I forgot about Sexy Man Boy Kyle. Yes,
who's got a speckled shirt with a K on it.
It's so good.
they also just do such a good job of like. They really keep it interesting to watch in any variety of ways. Like, it's fun for the kids. It's got stuff for the adults. Like, you've got Joan Rivers showing up later. You've got a lot of all these store references, you know, using the pepper grinder as pepper spray, the cops doing that type of thing. For me, also, I was watching it. I'm loving the cross-cutting dialogue, like when Shrek and Fiona first get there and it's cutting between them and the king and the queen, kind of all taking over each other's sentences. You've got a really cool shot later where it would be the equivalent of like a crane or a tracking shot that I noticed they have like a hidden cut for when a bird passes by, but we go all the way from Shrek and Fiona on the ground to an upstairs window. And I just thought it was really cool. And you could have really phoned it in on this movie. The first one was such a hit that you could have basically just shoved anything out there with Shrek 2 on it and it would have made money. And it does feel like they had a story, they had an idea for these relationships, and then they expanded the world around it in a way that really works well.
Well, and I think, like, we briefly chatted about this when arguing about the villains. What I like so much about what they capture in this story, and this is an affliction with so many films aimed at families and kids now, where the story and, like, its main plot has to be dumbed down and be like, this is applicable to you, you stupid child. When you think about the first one, like, it's a general, like, obviously it's, I would say, selfishness from Shrek, right? He's a loner and learns to like love the people around him, specifically Donkey and Fiona, more so I think Fiona obviously than Donkey. But in this one, it's you get so much of the self-doubt coming out of Shrek where you are taking, as opposed to using the generic like fish out of water story in the first one, which was just the world itself is so different from any other fantasy world we'd seen before. Like playing up, as you said, Gab, like the adult nature of the jokes and the use of all that stuff, but it's not scary. You're right. And then this one, it's a very mature story about somebody's self-doubt because, oh, it turned out I married a rich girl, right? And not feeling adequate enough for that place, and how that progresses through this film. And then later on, they get into like true midlife crises, and it's just purely depressing. And getting to explore more of that fantasy and all of those stories and having it feel cohesive, right? Like going into, I almost said stepmother again, but the fairy godmother's factory, right? And all of the different things in there of the different potions and the craziness of that world, and leading to the biggest twist of the thing, which was probably one of the main things that got this movie made when they were sort of pitching ideas, which is Shrek becoming a human.
Well, this movie really is. I wrote down Shrek is really just going on the reverse journey and doing what Fiona did in the first movie, where he has to learn to accept himself for who he is and that he is good enough. And that's exactly what Fiona's journey is in the first movie too. She's hiding this major portion of herself until she can learn he loves me for me. I can accept that. And part of me would think that was phoned in, but it's done in such a cleverly dressed up way that it doesn't matter.
Well, the difference is the environment that the person's going into. So when you think about where Fiona's coming into the world of Shrek in the first one, everything she's coming into contact with is like other out of the norm, right? It is an abnormal world. There's an ogre man, there's a talking donkey, all sorts of things that are outside of the place she's from, but she's being addressed by things quite literally like in front of her that are not normal. Where Shrek in this instance, right, is in a world that is normal. Like it's elitism, right? In terms of social economics, like he lives in a shack in the swamp or a cottage. And then Fiona's the rich girl, and everything in front of him is telling him like, you're not good enough for this person. So it's like, I like the way that they explore those different themes, because you're right, Dylan. It flips the story on its head, but it shows how the relationship is much more than the surface level stuff, which the first one was pretty much like, you're not ugly when you're green.
Yeah, I also think Harold and Lillian are such good additions because Harold really plays to Shrek's whole thing is that Harold is ashamed of where he comes from and having been a frog, and that's why he's ashamed of Shrek being an ogre. And Lillian is honestly just the chillest motherfucker ever. She's accepting of everyone and not judgmental at all, which makes sense. She married a frog man.
So
Well, I don't think she knew he was a frog.
No,
Yes, she did.
She
did. She kissed him as a frog.
yes, and then they talking about their first date by the lily pond with the lily pads in bloom, and that was their first kiss. Like, yes,
Yeah, she knows.
Sorry.
But
okay.
but Harold pushes for a metaphor from the 70s, which was it's not easy being green.
Mm.
And he's obviously given that post-traumatic stress to his own daughter.
Yeah. Line I want to call out that I don't think I've ever noticed in a previous watch is Gingy saying, "Well, folks, it looks like we're on Chocolate Creek without a popsicle stick."
That's a good one. I forever have always thought and said this out loud whenever there's like the lemon water for your fingers. Great soup, Mrs. Q.
Which the way he did that just now just really brought me back to So I Married an Axe Murderer. He's
The whole time.
Yeah.
And Donkey's just like, ah.
It's so funny when you hear Shrek. It's like, who do you think of? And that's like a defining, like that could be a BuzzFeed quiz, right? Like, do you think of Shrek? Do you think of Fat Bastard? Do you think of So I Married an Axe Murderer? Like, where does it go? And honestly, personally, for me, I think and most people our age, it does go Shrek. But I do think of my hierarchy would be Shrek, then So I Married an Axe Murderer, then Fat Bastard.
I was going to say, you're the only person who would really carry the So I Married an Axe Murderer torch, and you couldn't put it first.
I think
I think of Shrek.
I think it really matters in the context of who you're talking to. Like if depending like so it's like I want my baby back ribs. Like it needs the context of why you're talking like a Scottish Canadian is very important, I suppose.
Shrek could just as easily be the one saying, "Get in my belly."
Yeah. I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat. You know what's
Ogres
crazy?
are like onions, not like
That's my
donkey.
job, by the way. That's what I do all day is talk to people who
You
go, I
talk
eat
to people and
because
say,
I'm unhappy.
"You eat because you're unhappy, and you're unhappy
Unhappy
because you
you
eat."
eat. It's so true.
Wow, way to really sum up your whole job.
Yeah, that's me.
Dylan's gonna crack open his Diet Coke, and we're gonna get to the next segment.
I'll drink Diet Coke because I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy because I drink too much Diet Coke. False. You cannot drink too much Diet Coke.
That is factual.
That honestly, that's all my major opinions that I have here.
I want to point out that something I noticed when watching this, like obviously agreed, have seen this a lot, is so many of the references in the first one feel very late 90s, right? Like there's the Matrix, and like a lot of it feels much more in line with things specifically in that era to get people in the theater to be like, oh, I remember the Matrix kick, and so many things were doing that. Where I think the broad strokes of the parody in this are kind of much more all over the place. Like we were talking about the Puss in Boots fight with Shrek, and they do the alien chest burst, which would have been 30 years old at that point, or almost 30 years old,
20.
right? Because that was
25.
Well, yeah, it's 79.
I think.
Yeah, right. So almost 30 years old. Like that is, I mean, obviously an iconic thing to do, but just so much of the layering of the different references just make it where it's not like, yeah, it's a Matrix kick. I've seen it. I'm not saying that Shrek is a victim of that or the culprit for that, but it's a victim of that situation, which was a very common thing. I think the only one really you could use for Shrek 2 is the Mission Impossible. Like everything was doing the Mission Impossible. And that first one was what, 95, Dylan? Something like that?
That I'm
the
not
first
sure.
mission? I think the first mission was 95.
I mean, the show's obviously way older than that, but that's from the first movie, which is 97-ish, I want to say?
96? 96.
96. Wow, we were right between what we said.
Yeah. And
That's
yeah,
like
I
riveting
think
stuff.
the addition of, I think, honestly, like Puss, I love Zorro. We talked about The Mask of Zorro, which I believe made the list. And just Antonio Banderas as that character, creating that dynamic. And I don't think you can really talk enough about the holding out for a hero moment. Because not only is Jennifer Saunders just absolutely nailing that, sorry, Bonnie Tyler, but it's what is happening outside of that. Like the performance and the animation of that character in the sparkly red dress, like on the piano and whatever. But just like it building in that all of the characters are united, right? Like Puss jumping off of horse donkey. That's a weird sentence. And like fighting off all of the guards and Mongo. Yeah. And then he pulls his hat down and he does that look that Gab's cat gives her. And just like it builds so successfully. It's so good.
Guys, should we get to some facts?
Yes.
I want the truth.
Face the facts, ducks.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
Starting with our ratings on the tomato meter, it has an 89% with 212 fresh reviews and 26 rotten, and an average rating of 7.9 out of 10. An audience score of 69% with an average score of 3.5 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 7.4 out of 10. The movie was released May 23rd, 2004, with a budget of $150 million. It grossed $933 million. Opening in first and also in theaters you could have seen Van Helsing, Mean Girls, Kill Bill Volume 2, and 13 Going on 30.
I saw all of those in theaters.
You saw all of those in theaters? You must have been young for Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yeah.
The critics' consensus, it may not be as fresh as the original, but topical humor and colorful secondary characters make Shrek 2 a winner in its own right. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars. Shrek 2
Out of 5?
No, out of 4.
I don't know. Maybe he likes fractions.
No, news was always newspaper. That's why I kind of hate like Letterboxd and a lot of these things became out of 5, because I'm always used to thinking of it from the 4-point scale. This isn't important. I'm moving on. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars out of 4. Shrek 2 is bright, lively, and entertaining, but it's no Shrek. Keith Ulich from Slant Magazine said, credit Shrek 2 for being the rare sequel that more or less equals its predecessor. The first film was garbage, and so is the second. Hot take, Keith.
That does not hold up.
Lou Luminick from the New York Post, so gorgeously animated and so thoroughly entertaining for all ages that only an ogre would complain it's not quite as fresh as the original.
What
Then
was the
Keith
name
said,
of the guy?
Fuck you, Lou. No. Jeanette Katsoulis from the Las Vegas Mercury. Oh, Antonio, as a human you are, forgive me, less than convincing. But as a marmalade pussycat in shiny black thigh-high boots, you are absolutely sensational.
Oh, it should have been per.
Which is I don't know how to take that critique, but I found it interesting.
So they're saying he's a bad actor as a human being, but as the voice
He was
of a
born
cat.
to be a cat, yeah. A couple letterbox reviews. Dakota Joaquin, Get Out, but for ogres. This one
amazing.
from Reese. I legit get the chills during the I Need a Hero sequence. Me too.
Of course.
Jay, the way the passing of the Infinity Gauntlet in Avengers Endgame has nothing on the passing of the Fairy Godmother's wand. Adam Bolt, rest in peace, my fucking guy Mongo.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that part. I absolutely love that part with the.
We did talk about it.
No, the wand when they get it, like when they're hopping off
Keep
of each
away.
other.
Mm-hmm.
And then like beware of Puss and Donkey.
When they finally come together. I love that their relationship builds from hate to love. And last letterbox review from Martika. Fiona, you're behaving like an ogre. Shrek, newsflash, asshole. I've been an ogre the entire goddamn time. The movie was directed by Andrew Adamson, Kelly Asbury, and Conrad Vernon, who also directed Shrek 1, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, Monsters vs. Aliens, and Sausage Party. The screenplay is written by Andrew Adamson, Joe Stillman, J. David Stern, and David N. Weiss, who also wrote The Chronicles of Narnia, Beavis and Butthead, Sanjay and Craig, The Rugrats movie, Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, and obviously it's based on the book by William Steig.
Dylan, did you say Narnia?
Yeah? How do you say it?
Narnia?
It
What
is
did I say?
Narnia.
Somebody give me the
Narnia.
difference.
You said
You said, like-
Narnia.
Like Kyle's last name.
That's Naranja.
No, Narnia.
Right. Narnia.
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 I have gotten Narnia before.
I still feel like I'm not getting it wrong. Is it Narnia?
Narnia.
Oh, fuck that. I've always said Narnia, like Narnia business. Moving on.
I know what you mean.
Whatever. Who cares? Those movies aren't even good.
The
I don't
first one
care.
I really like. Prince Caspian.
Not why we're here. Not why we're here. Not
She's
why we're
right.
here.
It's not good.
Shrek 2 is starring Mike Myers as Shrek, who you may know from the movies we said before, and also Wayne's World. Eddie Murphy as
And
the
Austin
donkey.
Powers.
Yeah. Who you may know from Dreamgirls, The Nutty Professor, and Beverly Hills Cop. Cameron Diaz as Princess Fiona, who you may know from Charlie's Angels, There's Something About Mary, and a Kyle movie that didn't make it, The Mask. Julie Andrews as the Queen, who you may know from Mary Poppins, The Sound of Music, and as Gru's mom in the Despicable Me movies, of course.
You didn't say Princess Diaries?
I did not. I went with Gru's mom instead. John Cleese as the King, who you may know from Monty Python, Faulty Towers, and Rat Race. And Rupert Everett as Prince Charming, who you may know from My Best Friend's Wedding and The Importance of Being Earnest. Jennifer Saunders as the Fairy Godmother, who you may know from Absolutely Fabulous and We Work for the Dead. And Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, who you may know from The Mask of Zorro, Spy Kids, and Desperado. It was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 2005 Academy Awards, but lost. Does anybody know what it lost to?
2005?
Yes.
Nemo was 03. Incredibles.
It lost to The Incredibles.
Wow. That was really impressive.
Thank you.
I thought he was feigning, like, oh, let me think really hard about all this knowledge.
No,
but
I knew he
was
would figure
really
it out.
thinking hard.
Shrek 2 was also nominated for Best Original Song for Accidentally in Love, but lost to Al Otro Lado del Rio from The Motorcycle Diaries, which, of course, we all remember.
Of course.
And it's a movie to watch before you die.
Naturally. I wanted to bring something up about that really quickly. Many years ago,
that?
I got about the song, about Accidentally in Love.
Oh, I was like, about Al Otro Lado del Rio? Like, I
No,
was like,
no.
Gab's been listening to it on Spotify for the last week.
Yeah, I've been
Accidentally in
wanting
Love,
to
you were
chat with
saying.
someone about it. I got into a debate with somebody many years ago who said that Accidentally in Love is the happiest love song that has ever been written. And I said, I don't think that's true, but yet I have not been able to come up with a happier love song. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. It doesn't mean a better love song, just truly
like the tone.
like a happier, more positive, uplifting song. And every time I'm like, what about this? What about this? It's like, fuck, no. I think it might be the happiest love song of all time.
Does it actually have to be happy, or does it have to sound happy?
I want you to think about that again.
What about Happy Together by the Turtles?
I don't think it's as happy. I think it needs both still. Because that song is happy, but it doesn't make you feel as happy. It's not as like warm and fuzzy and happy.
It's that beginning riff in the beginning. You're like, ah. Like it,
yeah.
The song my mind went to, and I realized like the actual song isn't that happy, but the song makes me happy and sounds so happy, is Build Me Up Buttercup.
Yeah, but not happy. Because Buttercup is running around on him.
When she let you down.
Yeah. And she never calls when she said she will.
What
I
about
love her
Ain't No
still.
Mountain?
That was it. I'm done.
Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
I don't think it has.
Is it happy?
I'm not saying it's not happy, but I just don't think that it has the same like. I don't know, like that song "Accidentally in Love" makes you feel like butterflies. I don't know, like this is all very subjective, but I think it is. I don't even really care for that song all that much because I do think in that year it was overplayed so much that it's like, okay, we get it. But I do have a hard time coming up with any song that is like more like bubblegum, like just as happy and positive and uplifting as can be.
I don't
In
know.
honor of
Marvin
Francisco
Gaye.
Lindor, My Girl.
No.
Slow, you know.
I'm just thinking like Marvin Gaye telling me to listen, baby, and then just like gets into it. Like, I don't know. It's hard.
I do agree that portion of the song where there's that key change is so powerful, but Accidentally in Love, the whole song feels like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very good question. I mean, you've been sitting on this for a bit, so maybe I'll just text you my opinion. I'll be like, I know what it is.
Yeah, if you find one, because like I said, I was arguing against it, but I truly have not been able to come up with one that's better.
Still the one.
Slow.
We're still having fun, and you're still
that one?
the one. That one or the Shania Twain one.
I think in
Canadian
that
icon.
Still the One, isn't there like a, we've been through some hard times right away. Absolutely not. You're bringing me down.
So because Accidentally in Love doesn't even reference the fact that there was ever things not good. That's okay.
I Want You Back.
By NSYNC?
No.
That's the only I Want You Back I know
that's
of.
not what it's called. Sorry. Jackson 5.
Oh, it's called I Want You Back.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, but if he wants her back, it means he doesn't have her. It's not happy. He's downtrodden. He's down bad crying at the gym.
I don't know. Michael doesn't sound sad.
Well, he's a child. What does he know of sadness?
I mean, have you seen Michael the film? There's some pretty rough times there. Joe?
No.
I did not. And I also have not watched that Netflix documentary about Michael Jackson because neither one of those seems that fun to me. But
I'd like to remember Michael fondly.
I was at the movie theater the weekend the Michael Jackson movie came out, seeing not Michael. And I saw people who were like really excited to go to Michael. And then I saw somebody dressed in a full furry outfit from head to toe. And I was like, what movie are you here to see? Like, I was like, wow. Also, I had to think, do they take their giant spaceman-esque helmet that is wolf-shaped off to watch the movie? No, it doesn't seem that way. It seems like that is the lifestyle they've chosen.
Yeah.
We don't kick shame on this podcast, right?
I guess not. I just want to be able to see the screen clearly. And if I was stuck sitting behind that motherfucker,
Fair.
I would be shaming.
That's a problem. Yeah. Yeah.
Was
Maybe
it
they take
opening
the back
weekend?
It was opening weekend of Michael. Again, they weren't in the same theater as me because I went to see like Over Your Dead Body and Normal movies that nobody else went to see. So it worked out fine. I feel like I looked up a list of love songs and so many of them I'm like, why are love songs so sad? Like this one was like Ain't No Sunshine. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Depressing as hell. You got to look up happy love songs.
Yeah. Honestly. Okay.
You Make My Dreams Come True by Hall & Oates.
Oh, but
Also,
I feel like I do feel like in the lyrics of that song, he's expressing his love for her, but I don't think it's reciprocated.
Well, I mean, are you thinking that contextually because of the way it was used in 500 Days of Summer?
No, I'm telling you, I think of the song and I think,
oh, Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Stevie Wonder.
I love that song. I love Stevie Wonder. All love and respect. I don't think I think the tempo of Accidentally in Love is happier than the tempo of Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
You're the
It
first,
all
the
plays.
last, my everything by Barry White.
I just want to say this AI list on Google does have Accidentally in Love in the top 6.
Damn. I don't think we can beat it. But I do think I will put that Barry White one up there again. That's up there.
I think of, when I hear Barry White, I think of the Angry Beavers. Remember like the really big beaver that was Barry White?
No, I don't remember that. But that was, if we wanted to go off on a tangent about great cartoon theme songs, that would be up there.
Yeah.
Dylan, I have a fact for you that I don't know are we done your facts?
I still have my fun facts, but yes, we're done with the straight facts.
Okay, so I have a question for the two of you. I'm somebody who doesn't necessarily enjoy
In honor
the
of Pride
Rotten...
Month, these will be the gay facts coming up.
Hey, I just saw
say.
Masters of the Universe, gay icon Skeletor
Yes.
over there. It's Pride Month after all. Do you guys, if you had a guess, what do you think the number one reviewed film of the Shrek franchise is on Rotten Tomatoes?
Like the most positively reviewed film?
Yes.
Oh my God, why do I... Okay, wait, critic rating or audience rating?
Critic. Who cares about the audience?
Which of the Shrek films was the...
Of the Shrek franchise.
How many are there?
4.
There's 5.
No, the
Shrek
5th one will be
franchise.
coming out next year.
Sorry, there's 6. There's 6 films in the Shrek universe.
Shrek. There's only
The
4
Shrek.
theatrically released right now, though, right?
In the Shrek universe.
Why are the
Listen.
words fighting you, Kyle?
They're not. You're not listening. The Shrek universe.
Oh, you're counting Puss in Boots and Puss in Boots The Last Wish. Okay, I would not have gotten it without you saying that. It's got to be Puss in Boots The Last Wish.
Mm-hmm. It's number 1, and Shrek 2 and 1 are tied with 89%.
Wait, what's Puss in Boots The Last Wish if those are both 89?
95.
That is a great movie.
It's so good.
Wow. All right,
I
should
know.
I get to my fun gay facts?
Woo!
Please.
Get to the facts.
Originally, Dragon was to have a major role and turn into a Pegasus when Donkey drank the potion.
So the dragon was going to be in drag?
As a Pegasus. This was the first sequel ever nominated for an Oscar as Best Animated Feature. At around 39 minutes, when Queen Lillian and King Harold are in the castle courtyard doing preparation for the wedding ball, in the distant background, a castle employee is seen climbing a ladder that leads to nothing and falls off just a second before the camera turns away. Jennifer Saunders did all of the singing herself.
Amazing.
When Puss attacks Shrek, he carves a P into the tree, a reference to Antonio Banderas, who plays Zorro in The Mask of Zorro. Another reference is when Puss and Donkey are inspecting Shrek's new set of clothes after robbing the carriage at around 56 minutes and remark, not bad at all. The same lines are used during the sword fight between Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
So good.
This became the second movie in Australian cinema history to gross more than $50 million. Titanic was the first.
One of those was worth it.
In December of 2001, it was announced that Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz would reprise their roles as Shrek, Donkey, and Fiona, and would each get $10 million. There are numerous references to King Harold being a frog throughout the movie. He has a painting of his human self standing over a pond next to his bed. His wife reminds him of their first date by the lily pond, their first kiss. His bed sheets and most of the furniture are leafy green. Above his and Queen Lillian's bed hangs a giant tapestry of a pond filled with lily pads. A female frog in the bar asks him, "Do I know you?" He calls Queen Lillian Lily, as in lily pad. Fairy godmother threatens to send him back to the pond if he doesn't get Fiona and Prince Charming together and fall in love. The king's revulsion to living in a swamp hints at his own living in one. When the king offers Princess Fiona a cup of tea, he tells her that he has changed a lot for her mother. Harold later mentions to Fiona that people change for the ones they love, and that she'd be surprised just how much he'd change for Queen Lillian. Of course, he means literally from a frog to a human.
It's crazy how much of that went over my head as a grown-ass adult.
I didn't. The clues are there from the dialogue. The amount of artwork is a little bit obsessive. Like, he's trauma bonding himself. Like, remember, Harold, you were a frog. If all of that artwork looks like that,
he refuses to move on. Yeah. The original writers for Shrek 1, Ted Elliott and Terry Rosario, opted out of returning for this movie as they felt that the basis for the storyline needed to be a traditional fairy tale and disagreed with the producer's choice to follow a different plot line.
And they went on to write Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Oh, that worked out pretty well. It's a win-win.
2003.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last fun fact I have for you. Jennifer Saunders, fairy godmother, made them let her record the line, "I'll be back," because she did not want her character to die. I think mostly because she was like, hey, they got $10 million to be in Shrek 2. It could work out pretty well for Jennifer Saunders. But sadly, we have not gotten the return of the fairy godmother.
It was such a mistake.
Yeah. That is all the fun facts I have, which means it is time to see if Kyle will be as happy as he thinks he is with his surefire hit, and we can get to the verdicts.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence to death.
Being that this is Kyle's pick, Kyle, we'll start with you. Do you think Shrek 2 is a movie to watch before you die?
No. I'm going to pull a Gab. I've changed my mind. No, I sincerely do. I think it's really easy to broad stroke something that feels so revolutionary when you see it as an adult or as a kid. And Shrek 1 obviously built a lot of bridges, and break any bridges. It built a lot of bridges in terms of what you get from animated films. But not only is this it's a grander movie and really does everything the first one did, but I think it does it better. But like, the success is also, I think, not that should be necessarily counted in that, but I know you had the box office. I think it's like double what the first one did. Like, the Shrek 2 is like somewhere in the 900s, and the Shrek 1 was like 450 or something.
Yes, both wildly successful, but yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, especially like now, if an animated movie made that, I mean, Pixar wouldn't be throwing all their stuff on Disney Plus that had a minority in it. But it's true. Look it up. I think this movie's iconography is not just it's a sequel to Shrek 1. Like, we're not talking about if Shrek needs to be on that list. That might be a different podcast. We're talking about Shrek 2. And Shrek 2 stands on its own with the story that it tells and creates moments that are completely uninhibited by if you hadn't seen the first one. Gab brought it up. They don't talk about the first movie in this movie. The whole point of the accidentally in love sequence is to move time forward. It's not Shrek and Fiona lying on a beach and be like, wow, that shit we did in the last movie was crazy. Like, no, it's the honeymoon of these characters moving forward, and the relationship is more dynamic. It does flip the whole concept of the first one on its head with the way that it explores like identity and obviously the societal separation between the different places that all the characters are from. But I think what you like, a lot of people will talk about in an unsuccessful sequel, is that it reminded you of the first one. And this movie is a very different thing. And it does, I mean, it's the second best reviewed Shrek universe film. But for so many people, you can't even have that conversation about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish because of Shrek 2. And we're not talking about that film, which I adore. But Shrek 2 is where Shrek peaked. We already talked about the bad sequels. Why do we dislike those films so much? Because of the height of Shrek 2. And I'm holding out for you two to be my heroes.
I'll go next. I think Shrek 2 has humor, it has heart, it moves at a good pace, it's got great character relationships, it's got one of my favorite needle drops in any movie ever. I can't think of much bad to say about it besides the fact that, like, it's kind of predictable once I've seen it for the 25th time, and you know what, that's no fault of its own. I would say Shrek 2 is equally as good as Shrek 1 in my mind, and both are movies to watch before you die to me. Gab, what say ye?
Well, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, isn't it? You know, nothing makes me want to say no more than having Kyle come on my podcast and get all self-serious and start fucking yelling at me like I did anything but have a different fucking opinion. So I want to be like, no, go fuck yourself and your fucking movie. But I will say this. I've been saying, and I have proof of this, I have been saying, I really want to do Shrek 2. Like, I love this movie. I think it's great. I have been saying out loud that I wanted to nominate it as a movie to watch before you die for a while. Kyle just so happened to beat me to it. It's a great movie. I think that it does a really good job of kind of giving you what you like about Shrek without giving you Shrek again. And I think that I actually prefer it over Shrek 1. And maybe that's just because I've seen Shrek 1 so many more times that it feels like refreshing and different. But I think the music is better. I like the two big musical numbers. Maybe three, I guess you could say, if you want to count like the button at the end. But I just think it's really funny. The only thing that the only thing that I prefer about Shrek 1 is I just really like Lord Farquaad, and I'm sad that he doesn't show up in Shrek 2. But I think, if anything, I would say kudos to the team for taking a beloved character and not being afraid to make them a one and done. You don't get the fairy godmother again. She's done. You don't get Lord Farquaad again. He's done. I mean, quite frankly, we could say that about a lot of other characters from Shrek 1. You don't really get the dragon again. She's gone. You know, they
make all of those decisions worse later on.
Oh, God, I don't even want to know. But I think in this one, you know, they're not begging you to come back by being like, look at all these characters that you loved. Like, it's over. We have new people that you're going to love. I think this movie is great. I love it. And yeah, I would have picked this one if you didn't.
I don't think I would have picked this one because it was so obvious to me. And you know what? Kyle went up there and he said, just throw me a slow, easy pitch so I can swing away at it.
Yep.
And you've got
Lob me a meatball, please.
There you go.
Yeah, I wanted to pull a Jeff Hoffman because he guarantees the other team's going to hit a home run. He was the closer for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Thank you.
Was.
Disclaimer.
Did you guys not watch the World Series?
I did.
More or less.
So long ago now.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, you have to remember, Kyle, you guys are an American League team and we're National League fans, so we don't see you guys a lot. Like, I can rattle off the players on the Dodgers, but I don't know the Blue Jays as well.
But weren't you cheering for the Jays because it was the Dodgers?
Yeah.
I just wanted everyone to have a good time. No, that was Game 7 was so good. That's not important right now, though. Kyle, do you want to say the things you say at the end of a podcast episode about your podcast?
I can do that. I actually, Gab, I wanted to give you a shout out because I was moving some files over and I re-listened to the one you guys did for the 100th episode. And it was so, because you're like, take a break for like 6 months so we can catch up, please. And that was, and I have not, that was 106 episodes ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So when's this
what
come
is this
out?
for us?
138. This would be coming out June
19th?
26th.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Okay. So I am the host and all the things for the Film Reelists podcast. That's the film and TV podcast from a complete nobody that is hopefully for somebody. So if you were listening to this on release day, Scotty Cameron, how you doing, buddy? I'm back. You're welcome. And that I will have released my Toy Story 5 review, but in 3 days, you will get to hear my Supergirl review, which, for Film Realist listeners, is my most anticipated movie of the year. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But there would have been June in general is packed. So there was Masters of the Universe, Disclosure Day, Toy Story 5, and Supergirl. So a very busy June and a very busy July. Lots of stuff coming up. I cover all of the major TV shows and movies. Sometimes there's some non-spoiler episodes if it's something I have been embargoed with, or if I'm watching it when it's released on time. Those are different things. I also, and I couldn't plug this last time, I'm writing for the Multiverse of Color. So I do articles for them. So if you want to check out some of the stuff I've written there, they also host the podcast. That's the network that I'm with now, Multiverse of Color. And I've done some stuff. And I, well, most of the time, honestly, Dylan, I turn those articles into shorts. So if you want to see, if you see them in the video form, that's just a condensed version. But I've also done a bunch of work with the DC Studios podcast. We talk about trailers for upcoming DCU projects. So a bunch of Supergirl stuff, as well as Lanterns, which I'm very much looking forward to. So all that stuff probably in the episode description. But guys, thanks so much for having me back. I know Gab really didn't want me to be here, but I am anyways.
Well, Kyle, I don't know why you're so pleasant to have a debate with.
I think it's because we do so few episodes that Kyle will hit me up 2 months from now and be like, when am I coming back on? And I'm like, it's only been 4 episodes, Kyle.
I am on a different schedule. Well, and you say that, Dylan, like I got a bunch of stuff. There's going to be a bunch of episodes coming up in the near future. There's some shows on a bunch of different services. If you liked X-Men 97, make sure you're following, because yeah, that's coming out soon.
I'll have to stop by the Film Realist soon for something super nerdy. Also, the day after this episode comes out, Gab's gonna get married, so congratulations, Gab.
What? That's the day?
Thank you.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's just a measly 16 days from now, but who's counting?
And the day this comes out, me, Gab, and Corey are all gonna go see Jackass Best and Last in the theater.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
That's definitely
That's crazy. I remember seeing when you posted the engagement. That video,
I know, it was a year and a half ago.
Just my favorite. That's awesome. That I didn't actually think I knew what the date was. That's amazing. Congratulations to the both of you.
Thank you.
So exactly 2 months after you get married will be my 10-year wedding anniversary.
Wow, you're the 27th?
Yeah, August 27th.
August 27th. Wow. Oh my God, 10 years. Or how old are you?
I am 34.
Okay. Me too.
me.
Not yet.
By
Dylan.
then I will be. Yes.
Dylan,
Yeah.
you're 92 though, right?
I am. Now.
Yeah. Because I'm a
Before
91,
we get
so
too
I'm turning
personal here.
35.
Gab, say this at the end of the
All right, here we go. Go ahead and check out the description below, motherfucker, because there's links in there. All right, we got them. We got links so that you can send me money. We got links so that you can buy shit, which also inherently gives me money. We got links to our friends at the Hall of Pods podcasting networks. And then lastly, we don't have a link for this, but do us a favor. Send us an email, movies to watch before you die @gmail.com. Send us a voice note. Send us some artwork. Send us your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings. Send us your thoughts on Shrek 2, any other movie that we've reviewed, and any movie you want us to talk about. Disclosure, we likely won't, but you can always toss us your ideas. And lastly, check out Kyle's podcast and
be good.
be good.
Harold, you force me to do something I really don't want to do.
Where are we?
Well, hi there. Welcome to Friar's Fat Boy. May I take your order?
My diet is ruined. I hope you're happy.